Welcome back to the channel. Now the topic of today's video is something I'm sure many of you have dealt with before. We are doing an oil change on the Golf GTI, but not just any oil change. What we're doing today is possibly the easiest way to do an oil change. And here's why. Now the typical way that you usually do an oil change is you lift the car up and then under the engine, there's the oil pan. You have to unscrew that little drain bolt, all the oil drains out, screw on a new bolt. You might need a crush washer. It's a mess because you have to catch the oil too. What we are doing today is using oil extraction. So we aren't gonna drain the oil, we're gonna suck it out. The nice thing about that is there are a lot of steps that we can just skip. Now I bought this off Amazon and just reading the instructions here, yeah, negative. I'm sure it'll be fine. And there she blows, 4 uncles. Yep. Watch your kids. So other than the extraction pump, we're also going to need a 32mm socket to get the oil filter housing off, a torque wrench to torque it down, and an oil filter. Now since we need to warm up the oil to get it sucked out, let's go for a quick drive to Volkswagen and pick that oil filter up. $33 for an oil filter. That's pretty cool. Oh, yeah. We are back with our oil filter. The next step is to figure out how to get this going. Because I know I said this was going to be the world's easiest oil change. So I needed to live up to my word. Alright, so the main tube goes into that hole. And then we have the second part of the hose, which I guess just be any one of these.
I think you should read the paper.
I feel like you should shut up. So we got the first part of the hose on. We need to now get the second part of the hose on, but to figure out which diameter of hose to use, you just need to like... It's water, it's vapor, guys. It's cold out, I swear. Don't demonetize. Nice and toasty now, which will make the oil extraction quite a bit nicer.
That was easy.
Yeah, there's oil in there. I think that is a pretty good size. Now before we drain any of the oil out, we do need to crack the oil filter just slightly, just to make sure everything starts draining, but not fully because it's probably gonna make a mess if we do that. And I don't want a mess. This is where our 32mm impact socket is gonna come in handy.
I don't think we need to use a torque wrench for this. Oh wow, that broke loose quite quickly.
I think that's good.
Oh, it's hot, but it's loose.
Yeah, that is pretty hot. Yeah, so word of advice, have your engine oil be warm, but not like scorching hot. I can make French fries with this engine oil right now.
Delicious.
Should I pop a French fry in the dipstick hole?
Shut up.
Alright.
Now let's see if it fits.
It's going.
No, it should hit the bottom. Alright, I guess that's the bottom?
Yeah, that's bottom.
Alright.
Yeah, I think should we just start pumping?
Alright, go for it.
Right.
Oh, whoa! That's really cool, actually. Let's hope it doesn't leak through the extension. Okay, you need a... Nice. Nice. And there we go, the first bit of oil.
Hopefully not too hot to where it melts everything. That'd be helpful.
Yeah, that would be funny. Why is it blue?
Yeah, it kind of looks blue, doesn't it?
I wanna pump.
It's doing.
I wanna pump.
All right, you can pump. There's a little air pocket.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is it not even pumping?
No, it is. Look, I don't think you guys can tell, but there's already 2 liters.
Oh, it's like here?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is a better view. We're already at 3 liters. We're getting close to the end. Starting to get bubbles. You can hear it gurgling down there. We did forget to remove the oil cap, so make sure you do that. Filter is loose, and yeah, looks like
it's basically done.
yeah, and kind of checks out because this car is supposed to have 5.7 liters of oil, and we're just a little bit over the 5.5 liter mark. So should we start the engine without oil so that we can just make sure it all gets out?
You should sell this car and jump in the hole.
What do I do in the hole?
I don't know if we're allowed to show that.
Get like a nice
Line up your beard.
Shave my line up my beard.
No, with a chainsaw.
What? All right, let's pull this thing out. That's oil.
A lot of oil.
I'm guessing that's what this is for. Maybe, you think?
I mean,
so maybe we take this out and then you slide that in there.
Yeah, that's better.
And then we can do that. Nope. Let's check for metallic debris. Okay, that's great. No metallic flakes. And one more time with flash.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like other than the shiny oil.
Yeah.
There's nothing really.
Yeah,
Yeah, looks good.
that's great. That's
The new car is performing well.
yeah, right. My 40,000 kilometer GTI doesn't have a spun rod bearing.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna put a screwdriver in here.
We're gonna get the old O-ring off of the oil filter housing.
Oh, that was easy.
Yeah, not too bad. And then we'll open up our brand new $33 authentic Volkswagen oil filter. We're just gonna lube up the O-ring with a bit of oil. And this is so that when you tighten it back on, the O-ring doesn't bind up and tear, which will cause you even more problems. Yep, that's on there. And filter.
How nice and clean that looks.
Yeah, I know. Which just clicks in.
Oh, that's kind of easy.
Yeah, super nice. And we can pop this back on.
Now, what is this getting torqued to?
25 Newton meters.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
So now it's time to talk about oil. Now, I'm a believer of, you know what, as long as the weight matches, use whatever oil you want. I like to support small businesses. You can use something like Cheval. However, with Volkswagen, specifically the new Volkswagens, they have specific specs that you need to follow. You can't just put 0W20 oil if your car needs 0W20 oil. As you can see here, it takes the specific VW 508 specification. So it actually took me quite a while to find this oil, and it was quite expensive, but I ended up going with Liqui Top Tech 6200, and this has the Volkswagen spec right there. So that's what we're gonna be doing.
Why is it green?
It does look green. Let me shake it.
It is green.
It's
green oil.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna start off with the whole 5 liters. Alright, so 5 liters done. Let's put a little bit more and then we'll start the car up and see what our oil level's at. We're just gonna do a little bit under half a liter. We put our 5.5-ish liters of oil in, so we're just gonna start the car up, get the oil moving around, and we'll check the oil levels. Alright, it hasn't exploded yet, so that's a good sign.
Oh yeah.
So we need to add quite a bit more. So it's about halfway through. I think it went back down, but we pretty much put close to 5.6, 5.7 liters into this thing, so I'm not really that comfortable putting any more in. It's in the safe zone, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now I'm just gonna give the engine bay a quick little wipe down, because it's kind of greasy. And just like that, the engine bay is nice and clean. Our oil change is done. The only thing left to do is to reset the service interval on the car's computer. So we'll do that real quick. And the way you do that is you just use the right button to navigate to the travel time distance section, go over to long term and hold down the right button for 10 seconds. Once you let go, you'll see service, reset inspection service, and reset oil change service. You're just gonna hit the oil change service reset. And just like that, oil change done. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this like informative. Was it really informative?
No.
Cool. Let me know if you enjoyed this entertainment.
I don't think it was that entertaining. So stupid.
This is actually the first ever oil change that I've ever done. So let me know if I messed anything up. Let me know if I can do anything better. I'm sure I could have. But, you know, this is the whole point. I'm just messing around here, so yeah, take that with a grain of salt. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.